1.
Hi, Chef Charlie. We're going to do a little egg cookery today. They say a good chef can make 100 different types of eggs, which coincides with 100 pleats in a good chef's hat. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the scrambled egg, how to set up the mise en place for the scrambled egg, and then give you a couple of tips about it too. First of all, we want to warm our pan up. Not real high, nice low flame, okay? And then we're going to individually crack our eggs into a cup. This does a couple of things. First of all, this will show if there's any shell in the egg, and also if there's any blood spots in the egg, so it doesn't end up in someone's breakfast. Okay, I can see that they're all okay. I'm going to dump them into a bowl, stainless steel bowl. Now, there's a couple of rules of thumb about scrambled eggs. A lot of people, to make them fluffier, they'll add a little water to it. They'll add a little bit of cream to it. Also, if you're making a large quantity of eggs, you could add a stabilizer, like heavy cream or something like that. We're just going to make a simple scrambled egg here. I'm going to whip this real well, so it's nice and fluffy. Now, if I was doing this on an egg station, I would make sure that my eggs itself are in a cold environment, so as not to cause any harm to them. And also, I also mention that there is such thing as a pasteurized egg. These are eggs that are pasteurized and have a little bit of citrus acid in it, and they work out really well for omelet stations too. But for today's purposes, we're going to use the whole egg. Alright, my cooking fat, my cooking medium today, you can use quite a few things. You can use a spray, a butter spray or a Pam spray. I'm actually going to use a little clarified butter. I like the flavor of it. It's real nice. Now, if you're working a station and you have 40 or 50 people in front of you, and obviously you won't be able to do this slow, so you'll need to have it on a higher heat. Here, I'm just going to let it coagulate a little bit before I mess with it too much. Once it starts to coagulate, I'm going to scramble it. Now you can see how quick it will come together with the pan being warm. Go into a cold pan, it's not going to. So I'm going to turn it off now, turn my heat off, and just let it finish in the warm pan. The carryover heat will complete it. In my kitchen, there is no such thing as a brown egg. At least a cooked brown egg. Alright, they're nice and fluffy, nice and yellow. I'm going to transfer it over to my plate. Okay. I'm going to bring a little home fries. We'll garnish it with little home fries and a little bit of chopped parsley. Nice and light. Alright, your basic scrambled egg. Now the second one I want to show you is a little trick to make it a little bit more fluffy and add just a tad bit more flavor to it also, I think. I'm going to take and add a little bit more clarified butter to my pan. Remember, my pan's already hot, so I really don't have to reheat the pan. I've already cracked my eggs into a bowl, and I'm going to whip them. Now for 3 eggs, I'm going to add a ½ cup of cottage cheese to it, which is a little different. I make sure they're really well mixed. Turn my fire back on. Get my pan good and hot. once my cooking medium starts to bubble really well, I'm ready to go. I'm going to put my eggs and my cottage cheese into the pan. And while that starts to coagulate and go together, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pan. When I was an apprentice, we would have to use old what I call hand banged steel pans that would stick. It didn't cook very well, cooked unevenly. But nowadays, with the Silverstone pans, and it actually started with what was called a Teflon pan. That Teflon pan just makes it so much easier, or the Silverstone pan nowadays, to cook an egg, first of all, without it sticking. It's quick, very quick. Now I'm going to add a little bit more heat to it. Once it starts to coagulate again, I'll just stir it a little bit. As you can see, it's starting to come together. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. And when you try this, you'll be pleasantly surprised of the flavor. I think the flavor is awesome. And we're going to garnish it with something a little different too. All right, so it's starting to finish up now. I'm going to literally turn it off and stir it just a little bit more. Then I'm going to prepare my plate. All right, good to go. I'm going to take a piece of toast. And I'm going to take the crust off and then turn it into toast points, okay? And I want to square them off, so I'm going to take a little bit of this off too. Turn it into a toast point. Keep my eggs turned, remember, no brown eggs. I'm actually going to add a little bit of parsley into the eggs to finish. Okay. Now, take my board, clean my board off, onto the plate. To take and off-center my toast point so it gives a nice presentation, and I'm ready to go with my eggs. Now, if you're a person that likes the eggs hard and like has that brown to it, this might not be your cup of tea. But I think for those who like it nice and loose, it's a very, very, very good flavor to it, and definitely unique. Something a little different. Finish it, a little garnish with a little bit of salsa. We're going to cordon it, go across the other way with it. Clean our plate off so it looks nice, and then a little bit of parsley over the top. Okay. And you put a little salt and pepper on top, because I like salt and pepper. Chef Charlie with your egg cookery.